Hey guys, Rich Pasini from Let's Talk eBay. Today I want to talk about some returns, and I just want to share some information with you guys in regards to how to become a top rated plus seller and how to maintain that. But before I get into that part, I'm going to go, show you some. I got an email from eBay, and I want to share it with you guys as well. What I want to talk about is some returns I got. I got 2 returns. Actually, I had 3 returns, but one person, eBay decided to close the account, close this case out because the buyer did not send the thing back in time. So once I think they give you a certain time frame to send it back before they close it out. But I have again 2 Keurigs coming back. One Keurig is coming back because the person found it for a better price, so they're going to send it back. But the good news about that part is they're going to pay the shipping and handling on that. So that's a plus for me. Not only that, I'm looking forward to getting it back if they ever decide to send it back. That's the funny thing I want to share with you guys. I noticed that in some cases, some buyers, if they are going to return an item, I had this happen to me, I think once or twice, 2 other times before. A buyer will message me saying the item's defective, it's not working, or whatever it may be, there's a lot of falseness there because I don't sell things like that unless it is being sold for parts not working. And even so, if it is being sold for parts not working, it's in the description. So you really can't say item is not as described or not working or defective because it's saying for parts not working. But anyway, some buyers will try to get away with that. But anyway, in regards to the Keurig stories, I'm going to say because there's 2. One buyer, now for those, if you know me, if I do videos on these things, whenever I get ready to put these things up for sale, I test these things out rigorously. I go through them over and over again. I make sure that on the Keurigs I'm talking about, I clean the stem there where the water comes out. I clean the bottom part where the drip cup is and all that stuff. I make sure those things are clean and they're in perfect running condition. You know what I'm saying? They're functional. Anyway, I sold one to a buyer, and the buyer got it, and I know it was tested, and I know it worked. Because, like I said again, I do not send those things out non-working units. Okay, person said, "Oh, water shot all over the place. It couldn't power it off. Whatever, something silly like that." And the person said, "I tried many times to clean it out." They said, however, the packaging was great, but the unit is not working properly. So to me, it sounds like a buyer's remorse. But supposedly, the buyer is sending that back. Okay. Now, that's supposed to be coming UPS. Now, here's the only problem I have with that. Now, I sent this thing out. Let's see where it was going to. I have to put my glasses on. That one there was going to Pennsylvania. And if my memory serves me right, I think it takes about 2 or 3 days to get there. Something along that line. It's not long. Anyway, I send it USPS. I like to use the United States Postal Service for all my shipping needs, right? So to send it out to him from New York was $9.18. Okay. Now he messaged me back and he says, "Oh, if I send it back, am I going to get stuck? Are you going to pay for the shipping here?" He's like, "Yeah, that's fine. No, I'll pay for it." I'm thinking he's going to send it back USPS, right? What does he do? He sent it UPS. So it's going to cost me $12.30-something, whatever it is, because I messaged him. I said, "How much is it going to cost?" Like, I usually use the U.S. Postal Service to send it back. But he probably figures, hey, the seller's paying for it. What do I care if it costs $20? Technically, I was thinking about writing him back, messaging back, and say, that shipping's a little more costly than what I expected. I thought you were going to send it back the way I sent it to you. You were going to send it back to me, United States Postal Service. I don't use UPS and I don't use FedEx. I don't care for those services. I had them once before accounts. I closed them. I didn't think I was getting good deals with them for the simple reason is they couldn't beat the United States Postal Service. For me, okay, that's the way it worked for me. Maybe you guys might beg to differ, but to me they're a little on the pricey side. So anyway, he sends it. He's going to send it back. So I'm waiting to see that. That's the guy that said water was going all over the place. It's so on and so forth. So now I'm not saying it can't happen. Things like that do happen. All right, anything can happen. It could happen. Something could happen during shipping or whatever. But I know I package these things. If you look at my feedbacks, the people who bought Keurigs from me, they were very satisfied with them. They always gave me good feedbacks on it. But I'm going to do like a little video on it, and I'm going to see that when it comes back, I'm going to test it out, and if everything checks out and it works perfect, I'm going to call eBay up, and I'm going to tell them that The buyer sent this back. I believe it to be buyer's remorse when they say, well, why do you say you believe it? Because the thing checks out perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay? Some people will buy stuff, and here's the thing, too. You got to be careful, folks, all right? And I'm not saying this here to, like, kind of get you a little nervous about sending stuff out to people, but sometimes people will buy stuff from you, and if they have a part, let's say they have that specific item, I'm not saying all the time in all these cases, but somebody may buy it and take a part out and send it back to you. So that's another thing that's scary about this stuff. Especially if you're sending something out that's in 1A condition and you know it works, you tested it over and over again, and if it comes back to you and it's not working properly, it could be one of two things. Maybe the thing did get damaged during shipment, or somebody harvested a part out of it. Now, I don't take these things apart. I don't repair them. Somebody once before messaged me, said, it sounded like a little sarcasm. You buy these, and she goes, the lady right there was a lady, said, you buy these things for $5 and you sell them for so much money on eBay? Where you fix them or something like that. You buy them cheap and fix them and then sell them on eBay? First off, I don't disclose what I buy these things for that simple reason. Because if you do tell people what you buy them for and what you're selling for, you will, in some cases, not all, in some cases, you will get comments from people saying, like I was watching a seller like that, an eBay seller. He has a website, a YouTube channel, and he was talking about it. And I said, he sits there telling everybody what he spends on these things. Oh, I bought this for this much money, I sold for that much money. And I'm reading the comments, and somebody writes on the comments there, how dare you buy something so cheap and sell it for so much money? You should be ashamed of yourself. And then he had a couple other comments. I don't remember all of them verbatim, but people were embarking on that particular topic. You buy cheap, it's like anything else. You buy low and sell high, right? It's like a stock. Some people don't like it, though. And the idea that you're going to a Goodwill store and, you're making a purchase to buy this stuff to resell it, people find that offensive. Why? I don't know. Because first off, you're still supporting Goodwill. I mean, when you make that purchase, if it was a nonprofit, whatever, they usually do stuff with that. I don't know what they do. If they they give it to charities. I don't know exactly all the ins and outs about it. But what difference does it make? If you're buying something from a thrift store, what's the big deal? Especially if the thrift store is making money off it and whatever, that you're paying them, they're making, you're buying the thing. Who cares what if you buy it and resell it? And if a thrift store is one of those, stores that get the proceeds and they donate them to, they help charitable organization, what difference does it make? You're making a purchase, they're making their money, and what they do is their business, right? Don't forget, they still got employees to pay. They got a big overhead. The places I go to are huge. These thrift stores I go to are huge. They're owned by the same owner. I think I go to about 5 of these big places. They're huge. And just to give you an idea, some of them like almost the size of Walmart. A small Walmart, not like a supercenter Walmart, like about the size of Walmart. So anyway, I don't put the things in there. I don't repair these things, folks. I don't sit there and buy these things from thrift stores and tinker around with them and make them work and clean them up. As far as like mechanical wise, I don't break them apart and put them back together and fix them. I don't know how to do that. Is it rocket science to do it? No, it ain't. But I don't have the time for it to sit there and dismantle a Keurig coffee maker and fix it and then try to sell it for more money. I don't fix these. I'm not a repairman of these things. So when I buy them, I clean them up. I make sure I make sure they work right. I make sure the water level, if I'm putting a half a cup of water, a full cup of water in there, when it disperses, a full cup of water comes out. Okay, I do, and I run it a couple times, more like maybe 10, 15 times. I'll run that water through over and over again. I want to make sure it works. And if I'm running something 10, 15 times, and it's working here at these premises, it's going to work. It should work at the person's house. Okay? So anyway, that guy's supposed to send it back to me. We'll see. If it comes back and it checks out, and everything works fine, there's no leaks or anything, like this guy said it was leaking all over the place. Yeah, what a mess it made. He really poured the sauce on. He made it sound like this thing was like the Keurig from out of hell, I mean, I never heard a person say, it was water all over the place. They're spewing water out. He's pouring the sauce on. Listen, you don't have to give me excuses. If you don't want it, send it back. I'll be more than happy to take it back. I'll refund you the money, okay? I've been on eBay for over 20 years. I'm a top-rated seller. I'm not going to sit there and nickel and dime somebody or make a big how do you do about it. If you don't want it, send it back. Plain and simple, okay? But if it checks out when it's good, I'm going to notify eBay because I don't want to affect my seller performance. Because if you get too many returns, it does affect your seller performance. If I'm not mistaken. Okay, that's why that's why I understand it. Now, some people who sell on eBay probably couldn't give two hoots about it. I don't care if I go below standard or whatever. I do. I take what I do serious. No matter what the task is or what the job is, I take it serious. Okay, that's just the type of character I am. So I don't want to have something. I don't want to mess up my seller performance because somebody is disgruntled or they had a change of heart. They didn't want anymore. So they make up this lame brand excuse and they send something back. Now people may say, well, you really shouldn't say things like that or jump to those conclusions because the guy may be telling. He may be and he may not. And the reason why I say this is because I had on a couple occasions where people would send me stuff back saying it didn't work when it did work. Or in a case when I had a printer. I sent the perfect printer out, it was working condition. They send it back to me and the thing is broken. I don't sell, just to let you people know out there, those who follow me, if you're thinking of buying merchants from me, I don't sell junk like that. Okay? There's a follower I got. There's a guy. He's got a YouTube channel. He goes, his title is "I sell junk on eBay to make money, to make a living." I don't consider myself junk. The stuff I sell junk. I consider it pre-owned. Okay, and if I say it's working, it's working. I'm not here to get over on anybody. I've been doing this here for over 20 years. I've been on eBay for over 20 years. So if you don't want it, send it back and we'll see what happens. But I will notify eBay. If it checks out, I will let them know and say, this guy sent this thing back because it's buyer remorse. And if they say, well, why do you feel like that? Because when it came back, it checked out. Everything's perfect. It works fine. Okay? Sometimes buyers will do that there. They'll make a lame brand excuse up. I've seen it happen. On the few returns I get, they'll say, thing's not working. Not as described. And in the meantime, I got everything there, So I don't buy into all of that. But anyway, so that's that guy. And the other one is the other Keurig. This one was supposed to be processed. I think I told you guys, was supposed to be processed on the January 31st. I think if they don't respond by January 7th, January 31st, if they don't respond to me by February 7th, I think eBay automatically closed the case. They tell you, I want to return it. eBay automatically sets you up to return it, right? You print out your label, return label. And then I've been checking out every day so far, since the day they said they're going to send it back. All I see is it started, but nothing shipped. Now, when it comes back, and if that thing ain't broken, it's going to be relisted that same day. And I'm going to probably list it for more money anyway. So in some cases it works out better. I sell it cheaper the first time, but the second time around, I'm going to ante it up. I'll probably sell it for more money because I probably could have gotten more for it anyway if I held out. So anyway, I don't know what the story is, but I will say this in regards to that particular one. And this is just food for thought. I might have said this in one of my other videos. If I did repeat myself, I apologize. Some cases you may get a buyer, I'm not saying all, just thinking that they may throw that little innuendo out there hoping that you're going to come back and say, listen, rather than sending it back to me just to keep the sale, what is your offer? What did you see it for? How much cheaper did you see it? And then you could try to beat that price. It could just be, I'm not saying it's a scam, it could just be a way of, a buyer trying to, manipulate your purchase price, the purchasing price of that item. But then again, maybe people do really, I'm not saying it can't happen. I mean, I shop around for the cheapest things, but you know what? With eBay, with all the sellers on there selling specific items, and if it's one particular item that you have your eye on, you might think you're getting a better deal. The next day you look, you say, oh my God, I can got that, or a week later, or whatever it is, a couple of days later, I could have got that for $5 cheaper. What are you going to do? I don't do that. If I make a commitment at that one, I only did it one time with the toner cartridge. I was already to buy the toner cartridge, and I seen it cheaper because of the sponsored ads. Remember I was telling you about the sponsored ads under the seller? Well, the seller had his thing. I was already to buy it. And when I went down below to look at the description, because the way eBay sets up the description, the sponsored ads, they put it right below the intro, the landing page, and then when you get to the description, before you get to the description, you get to see all the similar or sponsored ads. And that's exactly what happened. So rather than buying from that seller, I ended up buying from the sponsored ads because I did see it cheaper. I only did it one time. I made a purchase and then I canceled it out. Okay? I didn't tell the buyer anything. I just said it was done in error. I didn't tell them, oh, I seen it cheaper. Okay? So in this particular case, with the buyer, if they really did see it cheaper, fine, kudos, send it back. I have no problem with that. And the other thing is a pair of shoes that was supposed to come back, and buyer said we're gonna, they bought a pair of shoes, size 5.5. Nice shoes, but they run kind of small. Send them back. So I don't know what happened with that. The buyer never got to send it back to me. So eBay ended up closing that case. I think it was past due anyway. So eBay said we're going to close the case out. Don't worry about it. So they took care of that. Now I'm waiting for this other curate to come back. So we'll see what happens. The other story I want to share with you guys is I got a call the other day. It was yesterday, and a buyer calls me up. I'm looking at the name on the phone here, on the caller ID, and the person says, "Hi, this is so and so from so and so company. I bought a Boulevard vintage Boulevard watch from you, and we never received it yet." So I said, "Really?" I said, "Let me go check my files." I keep a whole file like this with all the transaction details I print out from when I make my sales for PayPal. So I go there, pull out the sheet, the transaction details, and I tell the person, said, "Well, what company are you with?" And she tells me the name. I said, "Well, I got news for you. This was sent to a gentleman, so-and-so, his name." When I give the person's name, the address, she goes, "Oh, well, that's not us. We're not located in that area. We're located in, I don't know, California," whatever it was. I said, "Well, looking at PayPal, they confirmed the address." And I said, "That's where I sent it to." I said, "Was it a confirmed address?" She goes, "Yeah, but that's not our address." I said, "Well, talk to PayPal." I said, "That's not my fault. That's the way the order came in. It came up under this person's name. I looked at the address, was confirmed, and that's why I sent it out." "Oh, really? Yeah. Going back and forth, right?" So I noticed one thing, though, with that call, which is kind of suspicious, because you would think the person who said, "Well, let me look into it, I'll get back to you." They never got back to me. And I tell you, the key word I threw out there to that person, okay, when they called up claiming they didn't receive it, I said, "Well, I got news for you. I sent that out with signature delivery." "Oh, you did?" Right away. Ooh, that changed the narrative of the whole conversation here. Because now, you see, there's some people out there, and I told her, this woman, I said, "I want to tell you something. I don't know about you. I never had it happen yet. I hope and pray I never have it happen." I told this buyer, I said, "I've been reading on the community chat boards, but even some people are talking about it in my other Facebook groups. When a buyer, you send something out to a buyer, they could claim they never received it, even though it shows tracking." Now people say, "Well, how could that be possible?" Listen, when you hand something over to the letter carrier, you give that person a package, right? He will take it. My mailman, when I give him a package, he scans it in. So now it's transmitted, right? Now it's on the eBay, USPS website. It's got a tracking number in there. It'll tell you the time it left, the time, duration, the delivery time when it's going to get there. It's in transit and all that stuff. Okay. Just because they scan it in, your package, and it supposedly is off to another address, doesn't necessarily mean to say that the person gets it is going to tell you, "Well, it's received, but it was delivered, but I never received it." See, because even with the tracking, which people kind of might beg to differ with me on this here. Once the letter carrier, there's two things that can actually happen where a person could say, "I never received it." One would be the package was left on, it was when he scans it when it gets to your house, right? He'll scan it, delivered. Okay, so it'll show as delivered at your residence. But what about the porch thieves? What about somebody seeing it and robbing it, taking it? So, there's a gray area there. So you say, wait a minute, though. Now you got a point there. Or, in some cases, a buyer could just say, never received it. There's really no way to prove it. People think because you scan it in, the letter carrier dropped it off there, it's there, quote unquote. It may not be. Things can happen. Like I said again, near the holidays, I've done stories like this back in my other videos. You had porch thieves. They see a package there. Let me go take it. That's it. It's gone. Okay? Now, unless you got a camera to prove it, I don't know if that would help. So it's doorbell cameras. They may help. You could take a picture. If you have a video on there, you could see the person, if it's being recorded, uploaded, whatever, on your computer. You could always play it back and say, hey, look, you could tell eBay. I don't know if you guys watch videos, but here's the package being, and in a case like that, then what do? So what happens in a case like that? If you have insurance, if it's a priority thing, you have insurance on it. Maybe the post office will work. I don't know. I never had that experience so far. But again, you got to be careful with that. So when I told that person, I have signature delivery confirmation on it. Oh, signature delivery confirmation. Signature delivery. Yeah, that's it. You got to sign for it. She goes, oh, really? Well, I got to find out then who signed for it. I said, I don't know. Yeah, you got to talk to the person who was delivered to. I don't know. I don't see that information. All I know is I put on there for $2.60. This is what I try to tell people. And I'm a true believer in this here. If you're going to sell anything high end, a laptop, electronic, I'm talking high end stuff that you could, you can't really afford to take a loss on. Use signature delivery confirmation. It's $2.60. You could add it into your cost, pay it into your shipping cost, and you'll have a little peace of mind. Okay? This way, someone has to sign for it. And if they call up eBay and say, I never received it, well, somebody had to sign for that package. So it should be an open and shut case. Now, if you're doing something fraudulent and you're sending it off to your neighbor's house, hey, I don't know. There's a lot of people that do a lot of crazy things out there. I can't speak for them. All I know as a seller what I do to protect myself. And I'm so glad in that particular case, that last one there with the watch. Person didn't say anything. They didn't say, oh, they're sending it back. This is nothing of that sort. But I'm so glad that I put signature delivery confirmation on it. So a person says, let me look into it. I'll get back to you. Never call back. But what really kind of like tweaked their mind a little when I told them it had signature delivery confirmation. Oh, like they were like taken back. Oh, well, who signed for it? Well, that's something you're gonna have to do. You got to do your own detective work with that. I have nothing to do with that. That's your call. So, you got to be careful with stuff like that, folks. In that regards, when it comes to stuff like that, you got to. There's probably another case I was just thinking about. I can't remember offhand. I can't remember offhand what it was. There was another one like that where I was thinking about with the buyer having a situation similar to that there. I can't remember offhand, but it was something similar to that case. And like I said again, folks, when it comes to things of that nature, I said it once before, if you're going to sell some, oh yeah, that's right. It was with a Sony, that's it, the Sony card reader. Let me share this one with you. It was another one like that. I had a Sony card reader I put up on eBay, and I normally will put down this item will be sent with signature delivery confirmation. This happened to go to a buyer that happens to live in New York City. I'm over here in the suburbs of Long Island. I'm in New York, but about 35, 40 minutes away from Manhattan. So the buyer messaged me and says, hey, I got a question for you. Did you send that with signature delivery confirmation? And he goes, if not, he goes, if you did, he goes, you should have put it in your description. He goes, but otherwise, thanks anyway. His thing was that he had to go, because I sent it with signature delivery confirmation, he lives in an apartment building in Manhattan. Soon as I see something that has an apartment number, especially if it's in Manhattan, whatever, apartment A, C, B, whatever, as soon as I see that there, I know right there and then, an automatic bell goes off and says, you know what? Send it with signature delivery confirmation, because I don't know where. He goes, I know they got little mailboxes. I have a relative that lives in Manhattan, and they have little mailboxes, but I don't know what they do with the big parcels. You couldn't fit this in a mailbox, in those little boxes there. Usually strictly for letters. I don't know what they do with them. I really don't. Honestly, I don't know. So I don't know if they got a certain area, they put it in there, and for the person to pick up and sign. I don't know. All I know is he told me, he messaged me, he goes, yeah, I had to drive to the post office about a half hour away, wherever it was, and I had to sign for this thing. Well, listen, here's my rule of thumb on that. Anytime, and I'm just throwing this out there to you guys, you could take it for what it's worth, it's up to you. If you see anything that has an apartment number on it, or if it's a place of business where somebody has to sign for it, I'm talking like a main office and it goes into a lobby and there's a lot of different companies in that building, send it with signature delivery confirmation. This way, whoever comes down and signs for it, anybody could come down and sign for it. You could have a guy walking up the street, say, oh yeah, I work at such a company, I'm going to sign for it. The guy could walk out the door with it. But the thing is, that should be a situation where if the person says I never got it, it should be an open and shut case, because eBay checks into it, or they check with the post office. Said, well, so and so, somebody signed for it. It should be an open and shut case for you. You shouldn't have to worry about, oh, am I going to get my money back? I'm going to get stiffed. You shouldn't. That's why I say use signature delivery confirmation on things like that. It's only $2.60. Pad it in your cost. Keep a clear head with that. You could have you could rest a little at night. I'm not saying do it with everything. If you're selling stuff for $9.99, you don't have to do it. But let me tell you. It could happen, though, even on the cheapest things. I'm saying do it on the expensive things. My threshold is anything over $100. Okay, this is my take. This is how I set my threshold up. Anything over $100, send it with signature delivery confirmation, even if it has to come out of your pocket. Okay, and remember, the two things that should be a little idea, just to keep you going, keep it in mindset: apartments and places of business, okay, where there's multiple businesses in that one end. You got you got the receptionist that's there who signs for packages. Just do it for that day. You'll have peace of mind. All right. The other thing I'm adding to the mix when it comes to selling my Keurigs, these here. I printed out. I only got two. I printed out an extra copy, extra sheet here. An extra sheet to hold as a copy because I want to just run with my printer. This here is instruction sheets for the Keurig B31 coffee maker. So going forward, when those two sell, I did it with the other ones. When those two sell, I will include this little sheet in there. Now you might say, it's a big deal. You're going to include a sheet. Well, the reason why I'm doing that, folks, I know you probably think you got to be kidding. I had a buyer that bought one of these Keurig the Model P31s, and I'm not saying it's to be funny. And I'm not making a joke of this. They didn't know how to work it. Now, I did a video, and I told the person, I said, I did a video on how to work it. Very simple. Okay, you hit the power button on. You take a cup of water, pour it in there, open the thing, they call that, whatever. You open it, what they call, I don't know, they got a name for it. Anyway, you open up the drawer, the drawer thing, whatever. You put your coffee cup in, your Keurig cup, close it up, water drains out. Hit the brew button, it'll turn blue. Once you close it, you close the lid, it'll turn blue, you hit it, and then it turns red. That means it's brewing. Plain and simple. I'm going to send this here. You want to throw it out, you throw it out. I don't care. But I'm going to send it with the Keurigs going forward. And whether you know how to use it or not, at least you'll have it. People will say, well, at least I know how to use it. Not that I don't want to be bothered. You could bother me anytime. If you need something, I'll be more than happy to help you in any which way I can. But going forward, I'm sending this out. Is it an incentive? No. It's just something I just want to throw out there. All right. We got over the topic with returns. Okay? Now, I just want to show you an email I got from eBay in regards to maintaining a top-rated seller status. And then I want to just go into the eBay community chat board and just talk a little about that stuff there. About a scam. Somebody believes they got scammed. This is why I say you got to check the eBay community chat board. This message came out around 7 o'clock, around that time frame. It's new. It's today. And I'm going to share it with you really quick. So I'm going to bump out of the screen here. And like I said, I want to go into the community chat talk a little about it, and then we'll move right along. So let's go bump into the window now. Okay. Here is the eBay community chat board. And anybody could check this out. Simple enough. Just go to the community.ebay.com and you can check this out. It's an open forum, so it's not like I'm showing anything that's private. This one here came out. Right over here, you can see it. Think I'm being scammed. It was posted today, February 5th, 2020 at 6:58 p.m. Goes on to say, so I had an offer for one of my items this morning and I accepted it only to be told that I need to buy a gift card with my own money before the funds to me can be released. Okay, now I've talked about this before, about scams, and I'm going to pass it on to you guys. And again, I'm only trying to help. If you could heed the words if you want to. If you don't, then go with the flow. Anytime, and I say this with a true heart, anytime you see something or you get something from a buyer or from a seller telling you that you need to buy a gift card, cancel out the order, okay? It may affect you, but if you tell eBay what's going on, they may be there to help you, okay? Seriously, when you see something like this here, you need to buy a gift card. That is a telltale sign that that's most likely is going to be a scam. Okay? Now, I'm putting this out there for you guys. What you take away from it is your business. I'm only trying to help. All right? If you want to listen to me, you're fine. If you don't, that's fine too. Okay? Now, apparently, they didn't get any answers here. All right? I'm not going to, I'll probably answer later on, but I mean, the most I'd probably tell a person if I do answer this here is anytime you see a gift card, anyone telling you to buy a gift card, walk away from it, run away from it. It's going to be most likely it's going to be a scam. Now over here, this was posted back on January 29th. January 29th, 2020. New seller accepted an offer, but it turned out to be a scam. So you click this on. Let's read what this person says. My computer's running a little slow, as always. So let's click this one on. I feel bad for these people. It goes on here to say, right, we read the title. So I'm pretty new to selling. When I got an offer matching the price I accepted, they wanted me to send them a text with my PayPal, which we thought was odd, so I didn't. Okay, that's good. I didn't get a chance to read this here, so I'm happy to hear that. They went on about giving them a gift card and so on. I knew I was not getting anything out of this since it was obviously a scam. So blocked the number and tried to cancel a transaction. However, eBay isn't closing this item and it still has it marked as sold, awaiting payment. I know for sure I'm not getting a payment out of this person. Is there anything else I could do? Now, somebody wrote over here, go to the Resolution Center, link at the bottom of the page, and open an unpaid item case. It could be open 48 hours after the listing ended and can be closed 96 hours after you open it to reclaim your fees. Okay? Again, I didn't post it here. I should post this here. I mean, I've talked about my videos, but maybe I should just post on here in a bit on the eBay community chat board. This way, people have a little know what I'm talking about. Folks, anytime you see something like that, that's asking for a gift card, cancel it out. And if you feel it's going to affect your seller performance, contact eBay and let them know what they said. Most likely, I can't say for sure, but most likely eBay is going to side with you. Okay? Call the teammates up, explain the situation, and I guarantee, well, I can't say I guarantee all cases, but most likely eBay is going to work on you. It's going to be in your favor for you. Okay? Think about that. All right? So I'm sharing this information. I know there's probably other ones out there. I'm not going to get too much into it. All right? All right. Now, I'm not going to look at my feedback profile. Here's the message I got for eBay. This came today, February 5th, 2020. Your eBay Seller Protections Monthly Summary. I don't mind sharing this. It's got nothing really personal here to share. It says, shop RJ Pasini for great deals. As a top-rated seller, you are automatically protected and will receive this summary of a coverage each month. See how you are protected below. So then it goes on to say here, your seller protection summary. Last month, 0 feedbacks removed. Defects removed was 1. Return label credits, 0. Partial refund, 0. Last 12 months, I had a feedback removed. Defects were 4. And I got news for you. With these 4 defects, they were buyer's problems, buyer's remorse, not mine. Okay? And again, same thing, 0 for the refunds label, 0, and partial refund, 0. Now, if you want to be a top-rated seller, they tell you how to maintain it. Top-rated seller protection eligibility. When you deliver your service promises to create good buying experiences, we will protect you when a buyer falsely claims that the item wasn't described correctly, or returns an item after using it or damaging it. Okay? Active listings protected because you offer 30-day returns, it's 100%. Active listings that could be protected by offering 30 days returns, and it shows you a little thing here, 100%. And if you want to maintain your protection, this is what eBay is asking. If you want to maintain your protection, continue being a top-rated seller. Okay, offer 30-day returns, follow eBay selling policies, learn more about seller protection. Okay, now if you want to maintain it, this is what they're telling you to do. Keep up a good track score, a good track record, you should have no problem. Does it have perks being a top-rated seller? Well, you get the 10% discount, you save a little on postage. If you have a starter store, your listing fees, like I have a starter store which is $4.95 a month if you do it on a yearly basis. If you do it month to month, it's $7.95, but you get 100 free listings. And anything over 100 listings, your listing fee, your additional listing fee will be 30 cents, as opposed to not having a store, which will be 35 cents. That's how that works. Let me just clear out of this screen here really quick. Well, that concludes this video, folks. I hope you guys got a takeaway from it. I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, give it a thumbs up. If you choose to do so, they're always appreciated. Lets me know I'm doing a good job. It lets me know you like the content I put out. And if you do like the content, hopefully you like me, please subscribe to my channel, like, comment, and share. And if you want to be updated when I post out new videos, please hit that bell notification icon. Anyway, have a great night, guys. Rich Pasini sign off on Let's Talk eBay. And today is February 5th, 2020. So wishing you all the best. Until next time, bye-bye for now.